Yes! Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Completionist. Very few games come to mind when we're talking about multi-billion-dollar franchises. More importantly, even fewer games come to my mind for games that are multi-billion-dollar franchises that I don't really understand or get. Look, I have played tons of games here on the show, and I have made fun of tons of games that everybody loves, but when it comes to Minecraft, I feel like the old man that doesn't know how to use the iPhone. So, with that said, let's take a look at Minecraft. And just to be clear, I have the newest iPhone, and I know how to use it. This is the best app on the iPhone. No regrets.
I was raised in the hood, called what the
It's undeniable, Minecraft is more than a game. It's a bona fide cultural phenomenon. In addition to being one of the most popular, best-selling, and critically acclaimed games of all time, it's also managed to bust right into mainstream media with its very own merchandise, conventions, and countless references across popular culture. It's hard to imagine that a simple, independent project by Markus Persson would grow into an intellectual property that rivals the likes of Super Mario himself. It's probably a safe bet that since Minecraft first dropped in 2011, it's always had someone somewhere playing it at all times. Now, this may be my first attempt at completing Minecraft, but it won't be my first attempt at taking it seriously. You see, a few years back, my buddy Peanut Butter Gamer started a hardcore Minecraft series called Hardcore. It involved a bunch of YouTubers and friends that if they died, could no longer play the game at all, and I was invited to join. I agreed, but unfortunately, the first day that we were scheduled to play also happened to be my birthday. I logged on to play, but sometimes real life just gets in the way of video games. So sadly, I had to go AFK with my brand new Minecraft account. It was not until I later watched the first episode of that series that I found out that my character had been the first to fall. And that was a sucky feeling, and it always stuck with me all these years. Due to that bad taste that the experience left in my mouth, I haven't really touched Minecraft since. That is, until now. My Minecraft redemption is nigh. I may have been the first to die last time, but this time around, I'm going all the way, baby. And I've brought a few of you fans from home along for the ride. And with their help, I'm gonna make Minecraft my Minecraft, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore.
The illustrious epic tale known as Minecraft begins with a... Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Minecraft has no story. Like, no story at all. When you start a new game, there's no cutscenes, no tutorials, and no instructions of any kind. You're just kind of blinked into existence and left to fend for yourself while trying to figure out just what the hell is going on. Maybe you have a few animals here, tons of scenery over there. I'm pretty sure the character you play as is named Steve or something. That's about all I know as far as this thing's got going on. Now, you might be a bit confused if you've heard of something called Minecraft Story Mode. That's actually an entirely separate and recently released game from developer Telltale Games. Story Mode is an episodic point-and-click adventure title, like many of the other titles in the Telltale library. Outside of their shared names and similar visual designs, the two games are actually completely different beasts than one another. But based on the extremely open-ended nature of the original Minecraft's gameplay, it could be that the game's utter lack of anything resembling a story could be totally on purpose. After all, if you're expected to craft your own environment and create your own adventure, then perhaps you're meant to invent your own narrative along the way, rather than provide some sort of Minecraft Bible or Minecraft brief history of time. Maybe Mojang's choice to not include a story is their way of encouraging players to use their imaginations and ask questions. Questions like, where are all these monsters coming from, and how come all the worlds of Minecraft are incredibly rich in minerals? Why do all the villagers in the game look and sound like Squidward from SpongeBob? It's a genuine concern I have. While Minecraft's presentation might be simple, it's also damn distinct. If you see someone playing it, there's almost no way to mistake it for another game, and that's probably due to the game's implementation of unique, low-poly visuals, as well as the fact that its entire world is made of blocks. Everything is blocks. That dirt? Blocks. See that water? That's blocks too. Even these little piggies are made out of blocks. It's like playing in a world made of Lego. And who the hell doesn't like Legos? Wait, they made Minecraft Legos? Isn't that kind of like making Lego Legos? Is that a thing? Lego Legos? Since just about everything in the game is made of little uniform units, there's no need to wonder if something you come across is interactable or not. If it's a square, you can break it, place it, or collect it. Now, Minecraft's retro visuals have been known to turn off a few people and leave them wondering why the game looks old. But it's clear that keeping the graphical style simple is necessary to make the gameplay as best as it possibly can. And at the end of the day, if you don't like the way the game looks, there are plenty of skins and texture mods out there to make it nice and pretty for you. The worlds in Minecraft are also freaking huge! Like, you can run in the same direction for an hour and still won't hit the edge of the map kind of huge. And the game definitely has different kinds of locales to warrant its size. You've got things like forests, snowy tundras, and deserts above ground, while caves, lava-filled caverns, and creepy abandoned mine shafts exist below you. Yet Minecraft's audio design by sound designer Daniel C418 Rosenfeld might be one of the most popular things about it. For the most part, the soundtrack plays in the background, completely independent of what you do in the game. It's got a unique ambient vibe, and there's a lot of variance from track to track. In between tracks, you've got some sound effects to keep you company, like sounds of animals, monsters, and the sound of picking up items off the floor. You're gonna be hearing that one quite a lot. Ambience is definitely the name of the game when it comes to the sound design. Coupled with how endearing the Minecraft world looks, the game can be pretty immersive. Each server and world out there is randomly generated, so there are countless possibilities of what you'll discover. It's super easy to lose track of time while you play Minecraft, and sometimes you just don't want to leave that game world you just created. I think I get it. I'm starting to understand why Minecraft might be so popular. Guys, I might have a problem. Now, just as a general disclaimer, I'm playing this on the PC with no mods on the current publicly available build version 1.8.8. Supposedly, there's an update coming really soon that will add a lot more features, but I just want to be clear as to where my point of entry is for this review. Minecraft's gameplay comes down to two things: mining and crafting. Good job, whoever named this game. You nailed it. Mining is done by breaking down the blocks that appear naturally in the game world and picking up the items that they yield. Only certain tools can break down certain blocks though. For example, if you want to add some obsidian to your inventory, you're gonna have to mine it with the diamond pickaxe. There are a ton of different materials to discover and mine in the game, and many of them can only be found in certain areas and at certain depths. If you want specific materials, then you're gonna probably have to go hunting for them. Crafting, on the other hand, is the process of taking the stuff that you mined and turning it into useful stuff, like weapons, armor, food, and shelter. All of your crafting takes place in a crafting menu, which will require a crafting table. It's made up of a 3x3 grid. Placing your ingredients onto the grid in specific patterns will create specific items. Now, there's no list of item recipes in the game, so you're probably going to have to refer to sources outside of the game, like wikis, in order to make some of that stuff you need. I know I'm going to ruin this word, so bear with me here. Some of the recipes are pretty intuitive, like placing 2 iron ingots on top of a stick in order to make an iron sword. But trust me, there are a lot of item recipes that you would never figure out on your own without some sort of help. Minecraft has 2 main modes, survival and creative. In survival mode, you've got a life bar as well as a little hunger meter on the right next to it. As you run, jump, and generally play the game, that hunger meter goes down, depleting over time. If it hits 0, then you start taking damage. To keep it full, you're going to have to eat some vegetables or kill to survive. Sorry, Bessie, it's the natural way. Survival mode also means that the freaks come out at night. When the sun goes down, monsters will start spawning around you, and they won't leave you alone until morning. You've got some common enemies like zombies and skeletons who'll rush you down and shoot arrows at you respectively. But then you've got the rarer enemies like the creepers. These fuckers will sneak up behind you and then explode, killing you and probably decimating anybody nearby. And more importantly, the structure that you've put all the hours into creating. And then they're the Endermen, and oh god, they're awful and creepy. I hate them. They're just like Slender. The worst. If you want to avoid these monsters, you can simply create a bed and sleep in it to skip the game's clock forward to sunrise. But honestly, it's kind of nice having enemies around once in a while. They keep things interesting and break up the monotony in the game. When it comes to items, Minecraft has more than I can count. You've got armor, torches, chests, bows, arrows. If you can imagine it, Minecraft probably has its own version of it. As far as your own ability goes, you can run, swim, and crouch, but that's about it. After all, you are just a block man trying to survive.
My hair is on fire! My hair is on fire!
That is, unless you're in creative mode. Then you're basically Superman. If you're looking for a mode that removes a bunch of restrictions and lets you go nuts with building and constructing things, then creative mode is just for you. You've got infinite building materials at your disposal, you can break anything with a single punch, and you can fly through the air. Playing Minecraft is a pretty chill experience. It's not that tough, you can set your own pace and goals. In fact, there are no goals outside of the goals that you invent for yourself. Sure, there are some areas that are tougher than others, but if you have no interest in them, then you can have a totally satisfying experience without them. Minecraft epitomizes the phrase, you get what you put in. The game is exactly what you make of it, and that's kind of cool. Yet with all that said, playing with friends or with the community is what the game is all about. It's what makes Minecraft Minecraft. Sharing a universal experience by creating your own creations and having your friends commentate or help. You can create all kinds of things in Minecraft, and the multiplayer is just you sharing a toy box with a friend or two, or three.
Where are you even?
Excuse me, his name is
Holy-
Jeremiah.
So I kind of just lied to you guys about how there is no goal in Minecraft. There in fact is one. Boom, you got BuzzFeed, y'all. BuzzFed. That sounds really disgusting. While there is no story, there is in fact a goal that players can aim for. A subtle journey that is not even remotely hinted at. To slay the Ender Dragon. But before you slay the Ender Dragon, we've got quite a few things to do first. We first must build a portal to the Nether. I know, right? Pretty cryptic. To do so, we'll need to mine a lot of obsidian blocks and some flint. Build a certain frame to create the portal, and then light it with the flint or fire. In the Nether, which is basically hell, we'll need to find the fortress and kill several evil beings known as blazes. Killing the blazes will force them to drop something called the blaze rod. You're going to need at least a dozen of these. I'd say even 2 dozen just to be sure. After building a surplus of blaze rods, it's time to head back to the normal Minecraft realm and go ender hunting. Killing an enderman might get you the ender pearl, which is used to create the Eye of Ender. These are critical in finding the stronghold where the ender dragon lies. You'll need to farm at least a dozen or 2 of these as well, just to be sure. Combining the blaze rod and the ender pearl will create the Eye of Ender. The Eye of Ender is actually a key to the stronghold. However, using it by itself will reveal the location of the stronghold. Using a few Eyes of Ender will lead you to the Stronghold Caverns. These ominous, naturally occurring structures are your only ticket to the realm known as the End. And of course, the End is where we need to go if we want to beat the game. You'll need to place anywhere from 10 to 12 Eyes of Ender around the portal to activate it, providing a gateway to the End. The End is a small, dark, and mostly flat world where Endermen run wild and free. Seriously, this place is relatively creepy and there are creepy-ass Endermen everywhere. In the end, you'll find huge obsidian pillars, each with an ender crystal on top of it. And flying in between these pillars is the final boss of Minecraft, the Ender Dragon. Destroying the ender crystals at the top of the pillars before you aggro the dragon is a good idea, since they will regenerate its health during the fight if left intact. Once the fight starts, the dragon will ram itself into you and spit acid while flying high above you. Is it acid or fire? Either way, he's vomiting something at you. These attacks deal massive damage to you, and to make matter worse, the dragon has tons of health. This dude is not to be trifled with. Firing arrows seems to be the only reliable way to bring him down. But if you've got a friend or 2, or 8 or 9, and you're all properly prepared with the right set of items, then you'll slay the Ender Dragon in no time at all. Upon its death, the dragon will make it rain experience orbs as well as spawn a portal to the overworld and leave a dragon egg. But entering the portal will first reward you with an extremely long and heady poem that reads like a manifesto. Congratulations, but after that, you then get the actual credits to the game. Yes, that's correct. Minecraft actually has credits. We've done it. It's over. Go get yourself a sandwich because you're going to be waiting quite a long time for this sequence. Minecraft is a game that barely acknowledges the fact that it even has an endgame portion, so it stands to reason that it wouldn't have any completion bonus at all. Yet, somehow it does. Minecraft has its own very set of achievements. Many of these achievements are pretty simple and obtained by naturally playing the game, but you will have to go well out of your way for a few of them. The worst achievement in the lineup is finding all the biomes, which are the names for the different atmospheres and zones. You'll need to enable the coordinate screen just to make sure you're in the right location, and this will take the longest out of all of the achievements. While obtaining some achievements can be quite a bit of a chore, if you're actually invested enough in Minecraft to care about its achievements, then getting them all probably won't be that big of a problem for you. What's interesting about these achievements is that they're kind of the closest thing Minecraft has to genuine instructions or directions. What I mean is, reading through the achievement list will at least give you some ideas as to what items you might need in order to succeed, or what goals to try and accomplish while you play. Now, please keep in mind, these achievements are linked to just the server you're playing on, so anytime you join a new server, you'll be getting the achievements all over again and again, so there's not really a completion bonus. As it turns out, I lied to you guys for a second time this episode. The big bad Ender Dragon isn't the only Minecraft boss. There's also these mini-bosses known as the Elder Guardians that can be found in ocean monuments. These guys defend the treasures found within the monuments from would-be tomb raiders. The Elder Guardians resemble squid-like sea monsters and will attack you with body spikes, laser blasts, and a curse-like effect that will drastically diminish your mining abilities. But defeating them will yield some pretty rare items, like sponges. All hail the sponge. And then there's the Wither, who's another boss in Minecraft. This guy isn't naturally occurring. Instead, the player has to construct the Wither himself out of some soul sand with 3 Wither skeleton skulls. Once activated, he'll attack by floating around and firing off Wither skulls as projectiles. If you get hit by one, it'll cause a status effect that will slowly drain your life and could potentially kill you. But if you manage to defeat this badass, you'll be rewarded with an extremely rare item known as the Nether Star. It's no sponge, but I'll take it. The Nether Star is a key ingredient into making the Beacon. The Beacon is an AoE-based pedestal that will allow you to temporarily buff you and your friends. They will require a ton of items to do so, and yes, it is an achievement. And for those players out there who want a more challenging experience, the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge does exist, which allows you to play the game on the hardest difficulty with no respawns. That's right, if you die in Hardcore mode, there's no returning to that world. Or in this case, you get permabanned from the server. You'll know Hardcore mode is enabled because your hearts will have these really angry eyebrows in them. Now, in terms of my hardcore mode experience, it wasn't that bad. It was a daunting task, sure, but me and my crew were more than prepared for the challenge. Not even the fear of permadeath could stop us from defeating the Ender Dragon yet again. Although most of us did die on the first playthrough and we had to start over. So overall, we put about 18 to 20 hours into hardcore mode. You don't get anything special for beating the game in hardcore mode, except for the knowledge that you've claimed this blocky land as your own. You came, you saw, you kicked its ass. Although I will say, you do need to contact your server admin, as this is something you need to set up prior to joining the game. Or just find a server online somewhere. There are plenty. Minecraft is a pretty therapeutic game for me to play. It has been ported to several consoles since its release. However, I do have one major gripe for newer players out there. This game doesn't tell you how to play it. There's no instructions, there are no tutorials, and most people will say, oh, but you don't need instructions for games out there like this. As someone who has barely played Minecraft, this game was pretty hard to grasp at first. There's a bit of research that goes into playing Minecraft. You are expected to talk to some of your friends, as well as read a lot on wikis. The game expects a lot of you, and for newer players, that may be a little bit overwhelming. Since you set your own goals in Minecraft, the game's difficulty can range from tough to non-existent. Defeating the Ender Dragon may not be the hardest boss to fight in history, but it will take some time and dedication. On the other hand, if your goal is to simply create a nice house in creative mode, then you might beat the game in an hour and a half. Ultimately, even if your goals are as lofty as beating every boss Minecraft has to offer, exploring every one of its biomes, and collecting every item in the game, then the only thing in your way isn't necessarily difficulty, but time. Attempting to beat the game on hardcore mode can be a bit tense, especially if you're going to do it alone. But if you've already experienced a good amount of what Minecraft has to offer, and you've got a great team of friends helping you, then even Minecraft hardcore mode won't be too much of a challenge. Every time you start a new world in Minecraft, you grow a little wiser, learn more of its tricks and secrets and shortcuts to make your experience just a little bit more efficient. With a game as open as Minecraft, the answer to the question of how long will it take to complete is simply how much time do you have?
Minecraft is an incredibly unique experience that allows players to tackle it in just about any way they wish. It comes in a charming and easy to digest package, and it requires a bit of imagination to get the most out of it. If sandbox games are your jam, then this game has the potential to provide you with hours and hours of good fun. Achievements wise, they seem a little bit unnecessary. Hardcore mode, if you want to live on the dangerous side of things, go for it, but it's a bit pointless. However, all of the boss fights in this game are worth all of the struggle to play this game for, especially if you've got a nice community playing with you. So, with that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of finna play it.
Finna play it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today's episode of The Completionist is sponsored and brought to you in part by Dylan West and the guys over at thepixelempire.com. The Pixel Empire is an awesome website that creates and sells really great, glossy, high-res video game and pop culture posters all across the board. They've got some pretty solid deals going on right now. For you Star Wars fans getting ready for The Force Awakens, from now until December 18th, every Millennium Falcon poster purchased comes with a set of 11 by 17 posters that represent the original Star Wars trilogy. Or, if you really want to deck out your room in some video game decor, all of their limited video game prints are on sale until the end of the year. There's a Pick Any 3 and Pick Any 4 prints package that are legitimately 50% off or more. The site is owned by one guy and he works really hard on all of his stuff, so supporting him means you're supporting the show. And the best part is, you can use coupon code COMPLETIONIST for 15% off your entire order. Pretty rad, huh? So check out all that great stuff over at thepixelempire.com, and don't forget to use the coupon code COMPLETIONIST.
Hey, are you still here? Be sure to smack that subscribe button right across the damn face. Did you know? I did a Did You Know Gaming video on Minecraft, and to check that out, give it a click right here. And in case you didn't know about last week's video on Until Dawn, you can check that out right here. Back to me. Beep, 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 beep.
That's all the time we've got for today, guys, so please, as always, let us know what you thought about today's episode somewhere on the internet. You all know the socials, and if you don't, give me your social security number. I'll take it. Big shout-outs to today's sponsor, the Pixel Empire, Did You Know Gaming for letting me host a video on Minecraft, and all the Beard Boys from the Saturday Night Slams chat for letting me tackle this game and help me out. They were a huge help. Tarvidi, Scotty, Greyfall, all you guys, you were awesome. Thank you for your support. I'm very lucky you guys helped me tackle Minecraft hardcore and beyond. Now, if you excuse me, Mark, play some gangster rap music while I am in a minecart in Minecraft. Word.